Subscribe to Rajshri Food and click on the bell icon for more updates.
A Jini Dosa is what you get when you fuse the best of South Indian food along with Mumbai Street Food. Well, on that note, let's make Jini Dosa. Hey guys, it's the Bombay chef Varun and welcome to Rajshri Food. First things first, for the Jini Dosa, we begin with the filling or the stuffing, whatever you call it. And for that, let's use in some vegetables. The first one is a green cabbage. Next is some green capsicum. Well, finally, some onions. In this case, I'm using red onions along with spring greens. First, let's begin with some spring greens. Well, this is that one recipe which would require a little bit of a pre-preparation. Of course, I'm not talking about the vegetables that we just cut, but I'm talking about the dosa batter. Well, for the detailed recipe, check the description box below for the recipe of Mysore masala dosa. The dosa batter is just the same, absolutely basic. What we need to do is, on day 2, once the ferment is right, we need to whip the batter rightly. And while whipping, we need to add in some salt as required. Whip it well, and this is the time when we need to actually adjust the consistency with water. Again, be very moderate when you add in water, because if at all this turns runny, there's absolutely no choice or no getting back. Mix this nicely. After a few mixes and ensuring that the water is nicely mixed, your dosa batter is done and ready. Let's move on to Jini Dosa. For the Jini Dosa, there are of course 2 ways of making this. The first one is using a cast iron griddle, and the second one is using a non-stick pan the way I am. Well, if you're using a cast iron griddle, it's absolutely simple. You need to add in some oil, you need to rub in half an onion and temper the pan before we move ahead, because the dosa kind of becomes easier to come out. Non-stick, of course, makes it absolutely easy and simple, and that's the way we are choosing today. The first thing is to just add in a few droplets of oil and smear it lightly all around the pan. Well, this will just ensure that the dosa remains nice and moist throughout the cooking process. Once the pan kind of moderately heats up, you'll understand this by 2 techniques. The first one is by just splashing a few droplets of water, and the second one is just by keeping your palm at a little distance over the pan to just kind of feel the warmth. Once that's done, you kind of turn it absolutely low and smear this like a nice thin pancake. Absolutely thin. Once you've achieved something like this, the next step on low flame is to add in just some butter. Along with this, we're going to add in some Szechuan sauce or Szechuan chutney, some pav bhaji masala, and now comes the time to start adding in some vegetables. The first one is some onion, along with this, some chopped capsicum, some spring onions, and finally, some cabbage. Once the filling is smeared on the dosa, all you need to do is generously add in some processed cheese. Once the dosa is either soft or crisp or pliable, that's a complete personal choice, you need to start rolling this like so. You need to transfer this on a cutting board. And Jini Dosa is something that I've seen on the Mumbai street, which is cut in a very peculiar way, and it has got a very standard way of serving as well. Let's see that. And this one is actually served standing in a plate. Well, something on these lines is how it's served. You need to add in some onions and capsicum. And finally, some grated cheese. Well, with this, your absolutely stunning Jini Dosa is done and ready. And like I said, it's a beautiful marriage between a South Indian and a Mumbai street food. Well, I personally have no clue why this is called a Jini Dosa, but if you have a clue, let us know in the comment section below. I personally feel it is a wish that a genie fulfills. On that note, do not forget to like and share the video and subscribe to Rajshri Food.